UFC 284 is only a week away, and many fighters and people in the UFC circle have already made their predictions, as well as thoughts, including Islam Makhachev going as far as saying Alexander Volkanovski is too small for the division. Let's check it out.
Okay, so Volk used to be a fat guy.
Yeah.
Like big boy, brawly, played rugby. And thing is, when you walk around with that kind of body mass for years, you develop a different kind of muscle
old man
density. Exactly. But even with Volk, I've tried to hold him down. I'm not the greatest wrestler. But even with my frame and my leverage, it's hard to hold him down. He finds a way back up.
Really?
Yeah. And he even finds a way to get inside on me sometimes, even striking. A lot of times.
He's crafty.
Crafty, veteran. His inside leg kick, his jabs, his hand control, all that shit. He's crafty. And Islam is great. Trust me. These daggy boys, they know what they're doing. They have their own pedigree, and they're great. But again, I'm biased. Of course they're gonna say that because it's my boy, but I truly, gun to my head, I could bet, like, honestly, I could bet my whole house on it.
Israel Adesanya and Volkanovski are friends, and they even train together, so it is no surprise that Izzy has Volk winning this fight. So while many people won't take this prediction seriously, it is good to be known from a fighter of Izzy's caliber, especially because of his upcoming rematch with Alex Pereira. Now anyways, let's get to what the fighters themselves have to say about each other, starting off with Islam Makhachev.
Volkanovski is tough, you know, he have good skills, good striking game, but, you know, he is small for this division, I think. He want to jump 155, let's do this, but this weight class not his level, you know.
Now let's hear what Volkanovski has to say.
It was, nah man, look, I was short in my last fight against Max. I was short against Zombie. I was short when I was a welterweight. I was short when I was a lightweight. I was short when I was a middleweight. I was short when I was a rugby league player. When I was playing in the front row, I was very short for that position I played. Semi-pro, even the representative teams that I played for, I was always short. And that never mattered. Never mattered that, you know, people say I'm short and all that, but I guarantee you when they're playing me or when they're in the octagon with me or when they're training with me, no one says I'm undersized. You know, and if they do, they're going to be embarrassed by how well I did against them or how much I kicked their ass. So, you know what I mean? It's fine.
Now, Islam and Volkanovski are both obviously confident in their own abilities, but there's been multiple times that Islam has called Volk either too small or too short for the division, and I'm sure this would leave a chip on Volk's shoulder going into this fight. Now anyway, let's continue. Here's what Michael Bisping has to say.
Okay, Islam's the bigger guy, 5'10 versus 5'6. He's more than likely, in his opinion, going to be stronger because he looks at Volkanovski as the smaller man. But Volkanovski used to weigh 220 pounds. Volkanovski is only jumping up 10 pounds. His body naturally wants to be bigger. And if you speak to him, he says that right now he is a brick wall and he is feeling twice as strong as what he ever has done. That's what he's got to do. If this fight stays on the feet, I favor Volkanovski. Number one, he's got a longer reach, even though he's a smaller guy. 71 inches against 70. Only small, but it's a slight advantage. On the feet, listen, the man beat Max Holloway on the feet 3 times. But can he stop the takedowns? I don't think he can, but he probably will be able to get back up. Can Islam continue that kind of assault, though, over 5 rounds? I think Islam will get him down, and I think Volkanovski will get back to his feet.
Now, Bisping had more of a balanced prediction, basically saying that if the fight stays on the feet, Volkanovski will win, and if it goes to the ground, then Islam will win. But we all already knew this, so not sure what Bisping's point was or what he was trying to say, or even who he has winning this fight. That's how a lot of people's predictions have been. They don't really want to just go out and say who they think will win, but they give hidden clues. Anyways, here's what Sean O'Malley had to say.
It's more of an interesting fight than I even think. The more I think about it, I'm like, what's gonna happen? Dude, people talk about Volkanovski being short and like, he's just mastered his style. He's used to being short. He's used to being the shorter guy. He's got still a longer reach than most shorter people, but he's just so compact. And that's going to, I feel like, make it harder for Islam to take him down, just hold him down. But I think if anyone can do it, it is Alexander Volkanovski. I do think if anyone can beat Islam, it's me or Alexander Volkanovski.
Yeah, you two up in there for sure.
You know what I mean?
That's so crazy.
I'm kidding. Chill, motherfuckers.
Now, O'Malley basically said that people are underrating Volkanovski, but he didn't give much of an answer as to who he has winning this fight. He has talked highly of Volkanovski before. Now, Joe Rogan has talked about this upcoming fight basically since it was announced, so let's hear what he has to say.
Islam is big.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know what he's cutting, but he's got the perfect physique for that weight class.
Yeah.
Like he's very, very lean. You know, he makes the weight, and he's obviously way bigger when he's competing. He doesn't look anything like a 55-pound guy.
Yeah.
And the
And
fact that
Volk's
he's
pretty
like-
small.
Yeah, in comparison, when you look at the two of them together.
Yeah.
But the thing is the grappling. Like, you remember, if you look at Volkanovski, he's got real good takedown defense, and he can take guys down. Took Max Holloway down a bunch. But he's not the biggest guy even at 45.
Right.
And when you're going up to face a big guy at 55, but also has Islam seen anybody that can move as fast as Volkanovski?
Yeah.
And what if he starts catching him? What if he catches him a few times on the feet, and if he can avoid a takedown? I mean, you're dealing with a significantly quicker guy, probably.
Joe was fascinated by Islam's performance versus Charles, and it seemed he had questions as to if Volkanovski is big enough to defeat Islam. And I think it's safe to say Joe Rogan has Islam winning the fight, even though he might not actually say it. I mean, he literally called Islam's grip like otherworldly, so. But lastly, let's hear what Chael Sonnen has to say.
I think he can do so.
He's a 3-1 underdog, and he's fighting basically at home. I'm going to call Perth home. I think that's unbelievable, because I see it the way you do. That Islam is a real technician, but there's ways to deal with technicians. There's ways, there's just blueprints to make it ugly and make it gritty. And Volkanovski, because he's been so dominant, a lot of people credit him as a real technician and clinician. But say, no, but he's a brawler when he needs to be. Go see his fight with Ortega. See rounds 2, see rounds 4, see the first part of 5. I mean, he is a dirty, nasty brawler when he needs to be. And I don't know who's going to win between those two boys. But I will tell you, it bothers me that Volk's a 3-1 underdog. Like, that insults me to some level. 16-0, world champion, ranked #1, 3-1 dog at home against a guy who 3 months ago the world said should not even be in a world title fight because he doesn't qualify. The MMA world said he shouldn't even be in there with Oliveira. And all of a sudden, that's the guy that's a 3-1 favorite to beat the guy that's never been beaten. That offends me.
It seems someone other than Izzy finally has some hope in Volkanovski. Chael was upset at how much of an underdog Volk was, considering he is the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, and the fight does take place in his home country. This was actually a really well put together video, and if you guys want to watch the full video on Chael's channel, I will leave a link in the description. It's kind of sad that Chael Sonnen is doing a better job promoting this fight than the actual UFC. The only thing the UFC has promoted lately is the Slap League, which they continue to throw down our throats. But anyways, drop a comment down below who you guys have winning the belt at UFC 284. Will Islam defend his title, or will Volkanovski solidify himself as one of the greatest of all time and become double champ?